Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk, and today we're doing a little bit of a different video. I'm going to basically be making a point, just a long drawn-out point. I'm going to say what the point is now because I'm not like poetic or anything, writing an essay in the storybook at the end like, oh, in the end, this is not a fable. I'm saying the Giants' coaching has been awful, and that's been one of the reasons why we haven't been successful. One of the reasons. You know, you had Jerry Reese had some good drafts. He also had some really bad drafts, but Dave Gettleman had some really good drafts. We apparently have amazing scouts. And, you know, we had to blame somebody. I think it could be the coaches, especially those lower level coaches. And let's get into it. Let's see where our former coaches are now to stress how good our coaches were not. So, to start off, let's talk about Ben Mcadoo. He's now the Jags quarterback coach. So he got demoted. He didn't have a job for 2 straight years, and finally got a job with the Jags quarterback coach. I think he replaced Filippo he replaced Filippo there. Filippo went to the Bears, and now he's under I think Jay Gruden and forget his name. It's not even important at this point. So the next guy is Mike Schula. He's now the Broncos quarterback coach. He was the offensive coordinator for us last year, and now he's going to work under Pat Shurmur again. We'll see that it works with Drew Lock. They're apparently going to implement a decent running game. I think you keep the ball in Drew Lock's hands. I think you do that. I don't trust his deep ball accuracy, but do I trust Melvin Gordon? Do I trust Phillip Lindsay, that 1-2 back? I think you just make it too confusing. Just put the ball into Drew Lock's hand. He's had a couple of games. Ease him in a little bit, but he has all those weapons. Your offensive line, I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to block well. Lloyd Cushenberry, I don't think he's that good, but Graham Glasgow he's more of a pass blocker, and he played really well for the Lions. So, they made decent offensive line moves. And also Jawan James or whatever at left tackle, he's coming back from an injury. And also you have Dalton Reisner, who didn't have the best offseason, but I don't know why I got into that point with the Denver Broncos. I do that sometimes. But yeah, Pat Shurmur, Mike Shula, Denver Broncos quarterback coach. The next one I want to mention is Craig Johnson. He was our running backs coach in 2014. He basically, all he had to do is say, Saquon Barkley, run. And there's not much you can do, I don't think. You did help out a little bit with Wayne Gallman, I guess. But then again, he wasn't really improving that much. He's only getting 3.2 yards per carry. He never really excelled. And when you get a talent like Saquon Barkley, there's not much you can do. You're better off doing nothing because, don't let him have too many pitfalls. Like if you see something in his game, it's just like, oh, if you run that way, you're going to get injured or something. I don't know too much about running backs, but you can help him that way. So Craig Johnson, running back coach in 2014, he is currently unemployed. Hal Hunter, offensive line coach in 2018 for us. Right now, he is currently unemployed, I believe, if I had my notes written down correctly. I'm going to check real quick. Actually, it's not going to load for me. He was the offensive line coach for the Indianapolis Colts, and the Cleveland Browns. So not that great of a track record. Indianapolis Colts back in 2015. I know sometimes with Giants fans, we kind of like, oh, he has experience and stuff like that, but you got to check out what the experience is. Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts. Joe Judge has brought in experience. Alabama, teams that have been successful and, guys with good products, and, good talent coming out of the schools and good producing talent in the NFL. So Hal Hunter is unemployed. Lunda Wells, he was our tight ends coach. He is now the Cowboys tight end coach. So we did a little bit of a swap there. Nothing much. These guys have a lot of experience. When I noticed, like all of them, they're in their late 50s, early 60s. And what we did is we brought in a lot of younger guys. Now, obviously, we have some tenured guys. We brought some tenured guys in, like a Mark Colombo. But I noticed, brought some younger guys. Alabama, new, fresh scheme. Out with the old, in with the new. Joe Judge is trying to put his imprint on, especially with that assistant coach who used to play for Joe Judge. Like, Joe Judge is only 38, and that guy used to play for him. And it's not like it was 2 years ago. It was back in 2009. So, he's bringing in some young talent. So, next is Gary Samuel, our defensive line coach. I don't have the date here since he was our defensive line coach, but I believe it was only for like 1 or 2 years. Gary Emmanuel, he is currently unemployed. I'm pretty sure. And I checked all of these. Come on, Gary, man, what are we doing here? Bill Mcgovern was our linebacking coach since 2016. He's unemployed. Everett Withers, defensive back coach. Now he's a graduate. He's in Texas as a sports analyst. Now, I'm not going to, this video wasn't a deep dive in each of these guys' careers, tell you where they're from, but from what I noticed, these guys were coaching back in the 80s. We have some tenured guys now. You have to bring some tenured guys, but we have fresh new faces. We have guys that Joe Judge trusts. Whether that's a good or bad thing, we'll see. And yeah, so basically, like there's a debate between whether it's coaching or whether it was talent. Now, Dave Gettleman has brought in some pretty talented guys, and we're again, you're not too sure, like especially if you're a guy like me, you're not too sure if these guys are being coached up good enough or whether they're talented and just not performing based on their talent goals because there's just something wrong with their personal life or they did like a DeAndre Baker. I don't know, but I'm thinking it's the coaching because you bring in a lot of these talents like Eric Flowers and then on another team all of a sudden they're successful. This is not a talent evaluating. Eric Flowers was good. Eli Apple had a decent year. Landon Collins is still decent with another team. Who else? You have Justin Pugh, who's now starting for the Arizona Cardinals. The list goes on and on with players that we've brought in, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, they suck. Do you think that they waved the wand and all of a sudden they sucked? No, it's coaching. I think, I'm not here with the X's and O's saying, he's teaching this guy with the hand placement, and I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure with those X's and O's, but we've seen with, the path and the track record of guys, and we haven't been able to keep our good players, and because of, whether it's locker room reasons or whatever, and we brought in talent that's been subpar, I guess. At some point you have to win. And winning comes with, coaching. You don't want to have your scheme be the be-all and end-all like your Bill Belichick. He adapts his scheme to the certain players. You don't have a scheme. That's the thing. Teams that had schemes in the past, your Chip Kellys of the world. I think not too much Bill Bryant. I said he reminds me of Chip Kelly, but he's not really implementing a system too much. He's kind of just bringing the guys that he likes. He doesn't want any, things going on, but the guys have implemented a system. We're gonna run the XY offense. It's worked for a year or two, but long term it doesn't really work. You have to adapt to your personnel, and we saw that last year with our defense. I didn't even mention James Bettcher. He's unemployed, so. How did I miss James Bettcher? I don't know why I didn't include James Bettcher on this list. I'll put it on the graphic, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's been more coaching or do you think it's been more personnel and talent? Because, sometimes in the past it's just like, who was on our team? Michael Thomas and Grant Haley is just like, those are our starters. I'm not too sure if they'll be starting for so many teams, but we'll see this year. You had Michael Thomas that I think is now playing for the Texans. And we'll see. And then you have some players like Mike Remmers who are now playing for Kansas City. Do they take a step up? That's going to be a huge thing for us. I'm sick and tired of bringing an offensive lineman. This guy is going to change us. And then ends up like another Nate Solder. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.